What up, Facebook? It's your boy Small. Ah, I was going on this Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon. Hope everybody having a good, 4th of July weekend. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all having a good Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Spending the time with your friends and family. Enjoying the little 4th of July break or little break or whatever. But I just wanted to go on here and talk about something's on my mind today, as far as looks wise, as far as relationship. People choosing looks only to find people to be serious with or be in a relationship with. Say it like this. Start like this. Looks are all good and dandy when you trying to find a mate or you're trying to find somebody to be with, but they shouldn't be the only thing they shouldn't be the only factor that you decide for somebody to in order to be with somebody, because looks can be deceiving and looks get you in trouble. Looks can get your heart broke. Looks can get you in situations that you don't want to be in. You have to look beyond. You have to look at things beyond just looks. You have to the thing that you don't see. The things that you don't see are most important in a person. It's not what you see that's most important. And people have gotten away from that. They just put all their stock and all their eggs in one basket because somebody looks good. Hey, Katrina. Good evening. Good evening. Everybody, like I said, everybody put all their eggs in one basket because it looks wise, and they don't look deeper besides the person's physical appearance. They only see what's on the outside. So they go with that, and they end up in situations that they probably could have avoided if they just didn't just put all their eggs in their one basket. Like I say, as far as looks wise, just because somebody looks good, or he may be muscular, or she may have a nice shapely body, but what about the mind, or what about the heart? The things that you can't see on the outside. Why are you overlooking that? Because what's on the inside, what's on the outside looks better, and that grabs your attention. You never should date somebody only because the looks only grabs your attention looks wise. Their mind and their heart should grab your attention just as much as their physical features do, because if you just only focus in on somebody's looks and nothing else, then you ain't gonna get the full potential of that person, and then you're gonna end up getting yourself in situations that you could have avoided. You know what I'm saying? Probably getting somebody pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And you getting pregnant with a guy, and you know what I'm saying? You stuck now with this guy because you don't even love him, or he don't even like you, or whatever. But you only slept with him, or you're only in that position because you was only hooked on him by his looks. You only paid attention to his looks. So now you in a situation where now you might end up pregnant with a guy, like I said, and he don't want to be with you. You don't be with him. But now look at the situation that you could have avoided because all you was concerned with was looks only. You just gotta be mindful. Just don't go for looks all the time. You know what I'm saying? Looks are nice. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to look at, but dig a little deeper. Dig a little deeper beyond the surface and find out. You know what I'm saying? The truth about somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you like this: back in the day, in old school days, they had two doors. They had a front door, and then they had a screen door. And the person that had, and when the person came to your house, you open the front door, but you didn't open the screen door. You didn't open the screen door until that person said something to where that made you feel comfortable opening up the screen door. You know what I'm saying? So you got to start screening people. You know what I'm saying? Put a screen in front of somebody that you're trying to get to know and date, or whatever level you're trying to take it to. Put a screen in front of that person and see what that person is really about. Because a lot of people just opening up their front door and letting anybody in without screening them because they look good. Don't do that, because you set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up for unnecessary hurt, and it's unfortunate. It's disappointing to me because I see so many men and women are hurting, but not every situation was unnecessary hurt. But some of the situations that they're in was caused by unnecessary hurt because they didn't screen the person, and they didn't really dig it a little deeper beyond the surface of that person to prevent themselves to being in a situation to get hurt, getting hurt like they are now. So you have to really pay attention to the things that you don't see. Always go for what you don't see. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that you don't see is always the hardest to do. Because like God says, you know what I'm saying, you walk by faith, not by sight. So what God's saying is, you have to have faith. You have to trust something. You have to have a belief in something. You can't walk by with what you see, because walking with what you see is not enough. That's not nothing to where you have to trust and believe in something, because all you're doing is looking at something. That's not enough to go on to actually know what you're really seeing. Do you really see a person? Do you really know a person because they have muscles and they look good physically, or she has a nice shape or she has a beautiful face? Do you really know that person? Do you really know that that person is worth anything? If you just stuck on that, you ain't look deep beyond the surface. You have to look beyond the surface. We have to look beyond the surface. You have to think, okay, this person may look good, but what else is about them that makes them look good besides their physical features? Don't fall for just the physical, because if you fall for just the physical, you'll get in trouble, because like they said, the devil was the most beautiful angel in heaven. He was the most beautiful angel. So you know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. Something always beautiful is not always good. On that's pleasing to the eye is not always good. So you know what I'm saying? You gotta dig deeper besides what you see on the outside. Start looking at things on the inside, from the inside out, and then I think you have to put yourself in a better position to weed out the ones that's not good for you, and then you be close to the one that is good for you, and you'll find something beautiful besides just something that look good on the outside. Because you could be, somebody could look good on the outside, and you invite them into your house, into your bed, you could be sleeping with the enemy. You never know. You never know what could happen, what situation you might put yourself in, or you might put yourself in harm's way, because all you're concerned about is what somebody looks like. That's all it took for them to get you, because they look good. It's not always about looks. Like I said, looks is nice. That's a small percentage of what's important, but there are other factors that's important, or just as much important, just that's on the outside. It's always on the inside. Look at the things that you can't see. Focus on the things that you can't see about a person, and then I guarantee you they'll tell you more about a person than what that person look on the outside. Just try it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to tell anybody how to do or what to look for in dating or anything like that. But just think about it. You know what I'm saying? Try just wrap your mind around it and think that it can be something like that, where it's a different. Might have a different outcome. Just something to think about, because right now everybody just going off of looks only. It's not a good thing, because you have to switch it up. I mean, if things ain't working right, and if you've been trying to talk to people and you haven't found anybody, or anybody haven't found you, then maybe it's because it's only concerned with looks. Try doing something beyond the norm. Try doing something outside the box. Try doing something you ain't never done before. You might get a better response or a better result. That's right, Katrina. I feel you. It's a lesson learned. It's a lesson learned. You know what I'm saying? It's a lesson learned. At least you learned that lesson. That's all that is. That's all. That's all the important part about it is you learn from it and you grew from it. But you know what I'm saying? That it made you a better woman for it. You know what I'm saying? So, and it puts you in a better position to know what to look for and what not to look for. So that's a good thing that you learned from that. But like I say, you got to try something different besides just going off of looks only. I know, it's easier said than done. I know we're human beings and we go by what looks good and everything, but try looking at the things that you can't see on the physical, or the things that you can't see with the naked eye. You know what I'm saying? Try reading a person's heart. Try looking at seeing as a person's mind. How that match up? Do both of them match up with their physical features? If all three good, then maybe you might have something. You know what I'm saying? But if their physical features are good, but their heart is ugly or their mind is ugly, then there you have it. That's good enough reason for not to even want to try anything to be with that person, because that shit letting you know right now that the other parts about them ain't good. The physical part may be good, but the other parts ain't. So that'll let you know that's enough to go by to say, nah, I might not want to try this with this person. And then you would save yourself from unnecessary pain and grief in the long run. Katrina, if you clicking with somebody so good, if you clicking with them mentally, are you clicking with them mentally? Are you clicking with them physically? Or are you vibing with them? Are you vibing with that person in all different assets? of them. You know what I'm saying? All different parts of them. You know what I'm saying? If you just gotta, if you clicking with somebody, you just gotta pay attention to the things that, like I say, you don't see with the naked eye. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, ask questions. You gotta just. It's all about, with your gut. Your gut will tell you too if that person is right for you, or if this is the real deal, or should I go forward with this? Because it's just important. Because you just got to be careful. Because you know what I'm saying. Okay, mentally vibing good. Well, that's good. Well, that's a good start. When you vibing with somebody mentally, then that's great, because that you vibe with somebody beyond the surface, beyond physically. That's a good thing, because it's hard. Like I say, 9 times out of 10, most people ain't vibing with nobody mentally. Everybody vibing with each other physically, and that can only go so far, because beauty fades. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta try to vibe with somebody mentally, on a mental level, where y'all connect on that level, y'all on the same page as that, because if not, it won't work. It just won't work. And I'm not trying to come on here and go live and say I have all the answers, because I don't. But from my life experiences, I've realized that looks are just a part of it. It's just a part of the puzzle, but you have to get different pieces and put it together to make a full puzzle. And that person's heart and the person's mindset is very important. But we as a people have gotten overlooked that. We don't pay attention to that. We've only paid attention to what's on the good on the outside and nothing else. And then we ask ourselves, why are we in this situation? Or we find ourselves in unpleasant situations. Well, it's because you choose to ignore something that you shouldn't have had, and now you in a situation that you're trying to figure out how in the world are you gonna get out of it. And why did it even happen to begin with? Well, because like I said, you didn't choose to look at certain things. You only looked at one on the outside or something. So, it's like going to a restaurant, and on the outside of the restaurant, it looks good, but you go in there and you eat the food is nasty. Well, you done paid your money already, so now you can't take it back. It's just disappointing. It's just disappointing. You know what I'm saying? That it's simple. It's a simple fix. It's all mental though. We all made mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, like I say, I'm not on here trying to judge nobody or trying to say I'm perfect or I know everything. But I learned lessons, and I just try to share what I've known to help other people, because it's like, it's evident that, you know what I'm saying, we might want to change something that we ain't, it ain't worked out for you. So if nothing ain't worked out for you, you might want to change something up. You might want to reevaluate some things to see if you get a different result and a better result. So that's why I be trying to say different things and bring different perspectives to the table and figure out and help people realize that maybe you might have done something that wasn't right, or maybe overlooked something, or something that you should have looked at, you didn't, and now you can just tweak something, and then it might have a different result, and you might be in a better position going forward. You know what I'm saying? When you try to find somebody to be with in the future or whatever. So that's all I be trying to do. It's just knowledge, and just trying to help people see some things and adjust some things, and maybe they'll find happiness, because at the end of the day, I want to see everybody happy. I want to see everybody finding somebody that they love, and that person love them back, and everybody just enjoying life, and everybody find that special someone, and you know what I'm saying, he love you and you love him back, and y'all live life, because life is short. So, you know what I'm saying, why be on here, putting yourself in bad positions when you don't have to? Why hurt yourself? Why put yourself in a position to get hurt when you don't have to? When all the signs are there, all you gotta do is look at certain things, and just don't look at one area on a person. Look at beyond the physical, and look at their mind and their heart, and then maybe you'll see the true them. And then if that's working for you and everything else lines up with that, then you good. So, just something to think about. But I'm finna get off here, y'all. Y'all have a great, blessed rest of y'all Sunday evening. You know where I'll be. Take it easy. I'm glad y'all tuned in to me going live. Peace. Take it easy. One love. I'm out.